Benjamin F. Brooks, a retired Pennsylvania State Police major, is the founder and president of Major Ben's Consulting Agency. He delivers powerful, dynamic presentations in the areas of a common-sense approach to understanding, valuing, and managing diversity, harmonizing the workplace through effective interpersonal communication, policing your image, and the prevention of sexual harassment. As a member of the Liberty Bell and National Speakers Association, he has appeared on About the Law at WHAG, an NBC affiliate, on diversity in law enforcement and the prevention of sexual harassment in the workplace. Through personal anecdotes, humor, charm, and passion, his keynotes convey the most serious message. His clients include SmithKline Beecham, the University of Cincinnati, Tri-M Corporation, the Philadelphia Police Department, Dauphin Deposit Bank, U.S. Naval Supply Depot, and the U.S. Geological Survey. Would you join me in welcoming the man we all know as Major Ben, Benjamin F. Brooks.
Thank you. Thank you. Surveys indicate that successful people have 24 hours in their day. Surveys also indicate that unsuccessful people have 24 hours in their day. The difference is how you begin to allocate your time. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be with you today to be involved in this conference to talk about some of those critical issues involving human resource personnel. We know that things are changing and things will never be the same. I think there's something, my song says everything must change and nothing stays the same. Which means then that we have got to make some significant changes if we are going to keep pace with what's happening in the next millennium. We say that change comes very difficult for most of us. It has been said that the only person in the society who welcomes change is a wet baby. But we have to be able to meet the challenge for the next millennium. I want to issue a challenge to each of you today, and that is, I want you to take everything that's said today personally. Why? Simply because it requires us to have a different focus into the things that we are going to be doing. And another reason I want you to take this personally is for this reason. If I were to ask you, by whom are you employed, you will probably tell me, oh, I'm employed by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I'm employed by X organization or corporation, and I've been there for X number of years. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in what we call a relationship business. And none of you is employed by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, by X or Y corporation. Every single one of you is an individual entrepreneur. And as individual entrepreneurs, you must understand something, that because of the expertise that you possess, you have established a relationship with the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, with XYZ Corporation, and as a result of the expertise that you purport to offer, they have agreed to some financial considerations. As long as the relationship is viable, we'll have a job. As when the relationship is no longer viable, you won't. The question you want to ask yourself then, if this is the case, what do I have to offer another employer if I'm no longer here? In the 1950s, 80% of what we did involved our hands, 20% with our brains. Today is completely reversed. The question right now is that the only thing you have to offer is what you have up here. And that's going to be very, very critical. As we go along with the program today, I don't want you to try to remember every single word we're saying. I just want you to think about how you feel as a result of the things that we're saying, and how does it interact with the things that you're going to be doing in your positions as human resource managers. As a young trooper, I've always had the occasion to arrests folk. Let me see if anybody in this room that'll remember. And when you arrest somebody, you take them into custody, and the first thing you do is you handcuff that individual. And you handcuff that individual because you want to make sure that he does not do any harm to himself, nor does that individual harm you. And as a result of that, we find that that person is directly under my control. How many of you have ever been in this position? Okay. Raise your hand. Okay. How many of you, from time to time in your organizations, have the feeling that you cannot possibly do your job because you feel that you're handcuffed? Show of hands. If this happens, ladies and gentlemen, it creates a real problem. Now, as we see, you can turn around now, Tony. With him handcuffed the way he is right now, everything that involves him is under my control. Doesn't matter what he wants to do, he cannot possibly do it unless I allow him to do it. So, Tony, I think I'll see. Oh, yes, I do have the key. Give him a hand, would you, please? We say to you, if your life has you handcuffed, let me share my keys. It is very important as we begin to look at where we are as human resource managers and the kinds of things that we need to do. You must understand that you are the lifeblood of your organization. And there are many things that you're going to be doing during the course of your employment that are going to be very beneficial to the organization. But there are some things that you're going to be doing that oftentimes will be detrimental to the organization. There are two perspectives I want to share with you this morning, and that is reaction versus response. What do we mean by that? We react when we don't know what to do. We respond when we have full knowledge. For example, you are sitting by the pool. You cannot swim. Your 2-year-old child falls into the pool. What are you likely to do? Jump in, and what's going to happen? You both are going to drown. But if you understand CPR, first aid, how to swim, and all that, you do what has to be done. As we begin to look at where we are right now, as we see ourselves in that reaction or response mode, every time we react, we get in trouble. Go back and look at all the major issues in your organization. You will find that it occurred simply because someone reacted as opposed to responding. When you walked into this room this morning, every single one of you came in with a toolbox. What's this conference really all about? This conference is about sharing tools that will make your job much easier. And in that toolbox, you had every single tool that was issued to you that made it possible to do your job as effectively as you've done it up to date. Today, we want to add to that box to give you hopefully some additional tools to more effectively do your job. Why is that so important? It has been said if the only tool that you have in that box is a hammer, then everything looks like a nail. Hello. Think of how we do our business. And it's very important to understand how it impacts on the things that you do. As we talk about that toolbox, it is my belief then there are 5 keys that I want to share with you this morning that I think are going to be very critical to what you're going to be doing. The first key we want to talk about this morning is attitude. Attitude. Zig Ziglar said it is your attitude, not your aptitude, which will determine your altitude. Earl Nightingale says an attitude is not the result of success, but success is as a result of a positive mental attitude. It affects every single thing you do. Every decision you make is based on the particular attitude that you have.